Okay, we'll start. Good evening, everyone. So, welcome you all on behalf of Zonal Education of Islamabad. So, today is the second day of our seminar, ICT seminar. Last day we discussed, actually, first day we discussed number system and logic gates. Today, I'm going to discuss operating system and Excel part. So, I'm not going to talk them about like deeply, but I will discuss most of the very important part from those two lessons, right? So actually, when you take Unit 5, because I got some message from the students that Unit 5, that is operating system, is a bit difficult, but actually it has a big theory part is there. So there's no much thing to anything too difficult, but you have to go through them by heart, some of them, right? So I will share the your textbook. If you have your textbooks, please take it. Then it will be easy for you to highlight them. I will tell the main areas that you will be getting questions. So it's better if you can take your textbook. If you have the textbook with you, please take them and we'll go through with me. So when you take the, I will go through quickly because I'm not going to discuss everything, but I will discuss it, most of the important parts, right? So when you take the operating system, first thing is how the initial operation of the computer perform. This part is a bit important because if you have the book, please highlight or you can put a star, right? Star right? So when you open the computer, when you switch on the computer, that post power on self-test is working. Now, when you switch on the computer, what is happening actually? There's a program called BIOS, Basic Input Output System, that will be executed. That will be executing through the post method, that is power on self-test. When you take the basic input output system, now as an example, if I tell something like this, now if you have a desktop computer, you try to remove keyboard and mouse. That means you unplug them and switch on the computer. Definitely, when they are running the BIOS program, it will detect that you don't have a mouse and keyboard. Then you will be getting an error message, kind of a message that you don't have connected there, right? So that is happening because of the BIOS program. But if you don't have a printer that won't will be detected, right? It is not necessary to have to the computer, but when you take desktop computer, you should have mouse and keyboard, right? So that will be detected by the basic input output system, BIOS system. So then after that, so the first program activated in post power self-test using the CMOS. CMOS, there's a memory and a CMOS battery. You have heard about that. That is giving power to the CMOS memory. This check all the hardware and confirm that all the functioning proper. After that, it read the MBR. MBR means master boot record. It boot drive. Maybe you have your operating system somewhere in the C drive or maybe in a DVD, right? So where you have the operating system will be detected through the master boot record. So that is done by the program called firmware called Bootstrap Load. Is provided by the computer manufacturer. Then the computer load the operating system in boot drive to the RAM. Now when you take RAM, right? So when you take RAM, the first program you will be getting is operating system. So when you switch on the computer, whatever the operating system will be loaded to the RAM. So that will be taken from the master boot record. Suppose you have your operating system inside your C drive. So it will find out, okay, your operating system inside the hard disk C drive. From that, it will be taken to the RAM. Then whatever the program you are opening, suppose you open Word, it will load it to the RAM. So RAM, what you have there? Currently working programs. All the currently working programs are loaded to the RAM. Right? So this, after that, after loading that, it will give the operating system. Once it is performed, the operating system take over the control of the computer and display the user interface to the user. Then only you can see the user interface. That means you can type your username, password, and all. So this part is very important. You will be getting question from this part. Then I'm going to the software, two different software, because you will be getting MCQs and all that, system software and application software. I can remember for the Western Province paper, you got a question from this part this time, last time test. So system software, again, operating system, utility software, language translator. So when you take language translator, assemble, compile, and interpreter is there. But you don't want to worry about in your level, O level, you don't want to worry about that. Those are used to translate your program to the machine code, right? So don't worry about them at the moment. Then system software, operating system like Windows and Linux and all that. Utility softwares are actually, they are helping operating system to work smooth. As example, if you take antivirus software, it is a utility software. So how it is helping to the operating system? It will remove all the viruses, then operating system can work fast. Then you have other thing is application software. That means normal software that you are using day-to-day work, like word processing, spreadsheet, and all that. Okay, then again, I'm not going to discuss this stuff again. Systems. This diagram also bit important. Now, user is there here. You can see user is here. So user cannot directly access the hardware. Now, as example, printer is a hardware. Now I want to print something. So can I give the command directly to the printer? I want to print this. No, not possible. So what you have to do, you have to go through either application software. Now, if you have a Word document, through the Word document, you click on File menu and print. So you are giving that command through the application software. Then it goes through the system software, maybe operating system or utility software. Then it goes to the hardware. So system software, operating system especially, can access the hardware. So whatever the command, you have to come through the system software or operating system. So user is outside the this part. So he is coming through the application software, system software, then only he can access the hardware. I think you can understand. When you take the printer, taking the printout, that is coming through the application software, through the Word, as example I took, word processing software, right? So that diagram, sometimes you are getting question like giving blanks and all that, asking you to fill it, right? Then application software normal. This diagram also sometimes they are asking. Again, same thing. Hardware you can access through the system software or operating system. A human user can access operating system directly or through the application software. Now, if you want to check whether your printer is working, there's a no need to open Word. You can go through the operating system. There's a option through the properties for the printer. There you have an option to test the page, print test page. So that is actually coming through the operating system. If you are printing through the Word document, that is you are coming through the application software. Then you have different types of operating system. So Microsoft Windows, I'm not going to discuss them. Now you have heard about them. Apple Mac operating system. Then Ubuntu, that is Linux type. Android, mobile phones you have. Hantana Linux Linux and Itsuru Linux is there. That is actually now when you take Linux software, it is a free and open source, right? So programmers, software developers can take them free. They can take the source code also. Then they can change according to their requirement. Now that kind of two operating systems are available in Sri Lanka. Hantana, there may be some more, but the officially you have Hantana Linux and Isuru Linux. Isuru Linux is developed by the Ministry of Education. Hantana Linux is developed by the University of Dehradun. So those are two Linux softwares that is developed in Sri Lanka. That means actually taking the source code and changing them according to the requirement. Then you have type of operating system. Types of operating system. So you have different types of operating systems are there. One is single user operating system. Single user means only one user is there. MS-DOS. Now you have seen that actually MS-DOS operating system, black screen. So you can only one user is there. No others can work. Actually, there's a single user and single task. Only one task you can do. Then multi-user operating system, several users together. Now, when you take banks and all that, you know that when you take a bank, so many customers are doing transaction with them. So that means when you take a bank, they have centralized actually centralized server computers. They have their accounts with them. So all the users are connected to the customer service people. They are connected to the same place. That's why you can deposit from here and you can withdraw from somewhere else even, doesn't matter. So that means your account details are centralized. From anywhere it can be accessed, right? From anywhere it can be accessed. So this is called multi-user operating. Several users are working together. Then multitask. Multitask means you can do several tasks at the same time. Now, while I am showing this, I am recording, I am showing my video, I am streaming to the YouTube. So I am doing several tasks at the same time. So my operating system is Windows 11, Windows 10. So this is do multitask. Then you have something called real-time operating. Real-time operating system means it is updating at the same time. When you withdraw, right? When you withdraw, as soon as withdraw, you will be it will be updated. So that is called real-time operating system. Then you have something called service and operating system. We'll go through in detail. Now here you have actually point 4. One is managing the hardware of the computer. Other one is providing user interface. So when you take managing hardware, you have one thing is process management. Process now I'm not going to read the same thing which is in the textbook. You can read it later. Right? Process management means you have several process. Process means the program which is in running condition. If you are programming running condition, that is called a process. So you have several processes. Now, as example, if I open something, if I type something, that's a process. So several processes are there. For this process, you need to allocate processor. You have a processor, CPU, that should be allocated to each process, right? So it is it's a huge part here, but here you don't have that much to study. If you come to the A-level ICT and if you are trying to follow A-level ICT, you will be learning this stuff. Indeed, so suppose you have several processes, 1, 2, 3 like that. So your processor occupy one, say we'll take task 1, process 1. Then after some time, it finish. Then processor need to take the process 2. Now suppose you have queue, process 1, 2, 3 like that. Which process you are going to take? So that is also managed by the operating system. So that is coming under process management. You have several process. How many time you want to allocate the CPU for them? What are the input and output devices allocated for that process? As example, if you take printing part, you need to allocate printer for that process. Now here, what I am doing here, Zoom meeting and all that is again a process, but no need to allocate the printer. If I try to print something, printer should be allocated to that process, right? So like that, so you have different work to do with the process management. So that is also done by the operating system. Then memory management. Now I have opened several programs here. I have open Zoom meeting, then I have open this PDF and all that, then PowerPoint show is there. So all programs need some memory. That's why I told when you open some program, you need to put them to the RAM, right? But if I close something, what should happen? Should it be there in the RAM? RAM එක ඇතුලේ තියාගෙන ඉන්නවද තවදුරට? No. You have to remove them from the RAM. So that is called deallocate. So allocating memory for the program, and when you finish them, deallocating from the memory. So those stuffs are called memory management. Only few things I am discussing only few, but you can go through. Now you can understand when you read this part, you can understand easily. You have several jobs. So they need some memory that is done by the operating system, memory manage. So when you are managing memory, that means you have to allocate memory for some work. And if you have finished, you have to deallocate from the deallocate that memory from the to the operating system. Then we'll take another thing, device management. Device management. Now, as example, if you have a printer, now usually nowadays printers are coming with the USB port, USB cable. So when you plug as soon as you plug the printer to the computer, you can take a printout, right? Because USB, you know, that is called plug and play. As soon as you plug, you can work. But you cannot check your ink level of the printer. When you take the printer, you cannot check the ink level of the printer. So for that, you need to have a device driver software to install. That means with the printer, you'll be getting device driver software. When you install them only, you can do all the tasks with related to printer, right? So when you switch on the printer, it is detected. Then when you switch off, it will be not detected. Printing these things, then checking the ink level. So those are related to device man. Only I took only printer. So other devices, scanner or whatever it is, that should be managed. So that is also done by the operating system. That is also done by the operating system. Then we'll go to file management. Right? File management. When you take file, now suppose you have a file called test.docx. Again, another file, test.xlsx, right? I will stop sharing, then you can see it properly, right? Now you have two files, test.docx, then another file called test.xlx. So you have the same name. But when you double click on this file, test.docx, it will open with the Word document, Microsoft Word. Open with the Word. When you double click on this one, it will open with Excel. So how it happened? Even we have given the same name, your extension. This is called file name. This is called extension. So according to the extension, the operating system will be identified. Okay, this program should related to the Word. It should open with the Word document. This is related to Excel. It should open with Excel software. So that is done by the file through the file management. Other than that, now suppose if you don't have Word, you haven't installed it. You haven't installed Microsoft Office package. What will happen? You will be getting prompting. Okay, you have to manually select which program should we need to open this file. Even if you can't imagine, then you have another option to find out through the internet, right? So that is this managing part is done by the operating system, right? So I will go to again book operating system. Then other than that, making file, deleting file, all these are happening through the operating system. Then you have something called operating system. They have different file system. When you are here also I saw some questions have come from this part. Now if you have a book, you take it down. FAT32, FAT16 are related to Windows, but Windows earlier version like Windows XP. I don't know whether you have heard about that. Windows XP, Windows 2000, Windows Me, like that. There were several operating systems. Those are related to this file system. File system in the sense like how these files have stored. Then what are the encryption? It's like deep part. Now here even you don't have any note here. They have given only the example, right? So this is related to Windows XP and before that old version. But Windows 10, 11 are all related to 8, 10, 11. All are related to NTFS file system, new technology file system. When you take ext4 and Razer FS, this is related to Linux operating system. If you have the book, please take them down, because sometimes you will be getting MCQs asking for giving file system and asking what type of related to which type can have that kind of a question can come, right? So remember that. Remember it, right? Okay. Then you have two different file access method. One is sequence, other one is random. Now, when you take going or accessing one after another, as example, if you take a tape recorder, your files, your songs are recorded one after another. So if you want to access fifth song, you have to go rewind or fast forward, and you have to pass them and come to the fifth song. So that is called sequential access. When the school is finished, you are coming one by one after another, another. Like very politely you are coming, right? I have seen, right? So that is called sequential access. When your file is accessed randomly, now as example, when you take random access RAM, or if you take CD, when you take CD, you can access any song you wish without hearing to others or without listening to others. So that is called random access. So there are two types of file accessing method. One is sequential and other one is random. Then you have security management. So when you take security management, you can put password, you can have firewalls and all that. So all are coming through the operating system. All are coming through the operating system. Then you have something called network management. Now you know how to connect to the network through the computer. Sometimes you can remotely connect to your computer. That means somewhere else, the person from somewhere else can access your computer without physically coming to your place. So that is called remote access. So all are coming under network management. So go through them, especially cloud computing and all that also coming under network management. Now I think you can understand that part. Then providing user interface. The other thing is, now this is all came under hardware management. Now second one is providing user-friendly interface. There are two different interface. One is command line, other one is graphical user interface. Now when you take command line, you have heard about that. Now you can see through the book. This is called DOS prompt. You have to type all the commands. So it is a bit difficult, actually. It is a bit difficult because you have to memorize all the commands. Then you have, but it is fast, huh? But it is fast. Then you have graphical user interface. So it is now here, from here also they are getting question. Windows වල මොනවද තියෙන්නේ මොනවද? Sorry, graphical user interface වල. Windows, icons, menu and right? Windows, icon, menus and pointer. Remember that, right? You will be getting question from that part. Then very easily you can access a graphical user interface. If you have a graphical user interface, it is easy for you to access them by double clicking and all that. You can access them quickly. Right? Then you have utility software. So many utility softwares are given. I told you that utility softwares are used to help to the operating system, especially help to the operating system. There are so many, you go through them and try to remember some of them, because you will be getting question to write some example, or then giving a kind of a example and asking whether it's a utility software. So from that one, I'm taking 3. One is disk partition. So disk partition means now you have a partition. If you have a partition, now here through the picture I will explain. Now when you take the hard disk, it's just like a new drive. Something like this. Right? New drive. Right? So you don't have any partition. What you are going to do? You are making it to C drive, D drive and all that. It is partition just like that, but it is logically happening, not physically. Physically, right? So you have logically different parts. Why you need to have partitions? Now, suppose you want to keep your educational stuffs, ICT and all the subjects separate. You need to keep your songs, movies, and all that. Then you need to keep your photos and all. So if you have this kind of several partition, it is easy to keep them. It is easy to quickly access them. It's easy to access them. So that's why we need to have partitions. So when you take partitions, you have these drives, but you don't have them in Linux operating system. That also you have to memorize. Now, when you take Linux and all that, Linux environment, you don't have drivers, but you have something called folders. Directories. You have directories. So therefore, it cannot be seen drivers name CD in Linux environment. Highlight that. I have seen some questions have come from this part also, because most of the students are not touching this part. Okay. Then we'll go to the formatting. Now, after partitioning event, you need to, if you need to store data, you need to format that. You need to format that. When you're formatting, you can see this kind of small portions are generated. That's called clusters, sectors, those stuffs are there, especially clusters, right? So when you store some program, it will be stored somewhere in several clusters. Now, as example, if you take clusters 1 MB as example, 1 MB cluster, but if you need to store 5 MB file, you need to use 5 clusters. It cannot be in the same place. It may be in different places. It doesn't matter, right? There are different allocation techniques. You are not discussing them in your level. So you have 5 clusters. In that 5 clusters, your first one file is located. So all are connected together. You think like that. You all are connected. So even it is somewhere like not in the same place, they are connected. So when you open the file, all the clusters will be open together, right? You like imagine something like that. So you need to format that. So without formatting, you can't store the data. Then defragment. Now I told you can store your same file, but it can be stored in different places. So then make a file like a data, you can see in different places, stored in different places. So that is called fragment. This is called fragment. Fragmentation. Defragmentation means what? You are taking them together. After defragmentation, you are taking them together. Then what is the advantage? When you try to open them, you can open it quickly rather than having them in different places. So you can do it in your computer. You can go to the hard disk, right click there. You have a tool called defragmentation. So if you run that, your computer become bit fast, right? Become bit fast if you are doing the defragmentation. Okay. Then different file extensions. I told you about extension and all that. So when you right click on the file and if you go to properties, you can see this stuff. These are the extensions, different extension. From this part also you'll be getting question like exe for the executable, like when especially setups and all that. DO6 for Word, Excel for Excel, PPTX PowerPoint. Now these are actually from Windows Office 2007 onwards. Earlier you had something called DOC only for the Word. Right, remember that part also. ACCDB for the access. Then these are the things when you right click on the file and go to properties, you can see this stuff. So file name, type, then open with what. Then now here, according to this one, I told you, it is automatically taken by the operating system. When you take, this is with the Windows photo view. That is the default program. You can change it even, see. If you want to open that, now it's a picture. Now, if you want to open with Paint or if you want to open with Adobe, photo show, you can change it, doesn't matter. Now default program has come as Windows photo view. Then this file is location is given D drive, then size and size on this. Now when you take actual size and size is there, two different sizes, small changes can be there with the file systems data and all that. Then created, when you have created, then modify, if you have modified, if you have changed it, that also recorded. Then access, if you open and close even, that is called access. That will be recorded, everything will be recorded. Then you have some attribute like read only and hidden. If you read only, if you put a read only, you cannot edit and all that. If you hidden, it is hidden, you can't see it. There's a like mechanism to take the unhidden file. Now if you can hidden them, hide them for the security purpose, right? I think you can hide them, but you can unhide them also. Okay, yes. Drivers, CD and all this. So I think that is that's all about now deleting, restoring, cut and these things also important. Shortcut keys. Control X, cut, Control V, paste, Control C for copy. Those things you memorize. Then deleting, sometimes if you delete even, you can restore them. That means it is going to the recycle. You can take it back. You can take it back. That is called restoring. But suppose if you have a big file which is larger than the recycle bin, it will delete it from the recycle bin even, right? So that is possible. Okay. So I think that's all for the operating system. Okay, I'll go to the Excel part also. Okay, when you take Excel, what you have to memorize is, now I'm not going to show you like how you are doing work with the Excel practical things, because you don't get any practical for the exam, but you will be getting theory part. So for that purpose, I will teach you through the board, right? So when you take Excel thing, just like this, you have ABC, these are called column, right? Now these 1, 2, 3 and all this stuff are called row, right? So when you take one cell, there's a cell address for that. Now here, this one C, and from here you are taking letter, from here you are taking the number. Here cell address is C2, not 2C. 2C කියලා අපි කියන්නේ හැම වෙලෙම letter එකයි row number එකයි අපි ගන්නේ 2C, right? Now here you have different cell range. You should be able to select some cell range, right? That is one question you will be getting, cell ranging. I will go to the exercise directly from the book. Okay, right? So maybe you have done in the school this stuff, right? Now here asking different cell ranges are there, no? Highlighted cell range. What is the address of the first cell represented by R1 cell? So R1, first cell is B2, B2. What is the address of the last cell represented by R1? So this is F2. Write the cell range represented by R1. So how to write the cell range here? You have to write first one and the last one. So first one is B2 colon, sorry, B2 colon, then last cell F2. This is how you are writing the cell range. So you can use either simple or capital, doesn't matter, right? So here again asking what is the cell range represented by R1? Okay. Then what is the cell range represented by R2? Here is a column wise. It's coming from H1 to H7. Then what is the name of the cell range along a row? Row එකක් දිගේ තියෙන්නේ R1. What is the name of the cell range along column? එනම් මේක R2. write the cell range represented by R3. First one you have to take this one. Last one is this one. First one is C5 colon. Last one is E7. So if you have so many cells, you have to take the left, right most upper one and the right side lower one, right? So that's how you have to create the cell range. Then give the number of cells in the cell range. So highlighted cell, 9 cells are there. So that is the one question you will be getting asked in the different cell range and all that. Then you will be getting addition these mathematical operators, and there's an operator procedure. Remember that, because sometimes you will be getting small expression and asking what is the output, what is the answer. So you can't, as example, if I take one example here, I'll type here 5 plus 2 into 3. So here you cannot add them together before you multiply, because multiplication is there. Operator precedence is high, priority is high before addition. So your answer will be 3 into 2, 6 plus 5, 11, right? So that's how this operator precedence should be memorized. Then you have something called, these things are some example. When you're writing the cell or calculation, you have to start with the definitely you have to equal mark. You have to start with the equal mark. And you have some formulas and functions. Formulas and functions. Now, when you take formulas and functions, you no need to memorize the old one. That means if condition was there, rank function was there before 2016. Before Oliver 2016, you had them. But nowadays, now in your syllabus, you don't have them. So don't try to remember. That's a burden for you. You can because it's not there in the syllabus, right? So you have something called formulas and functions. Now, if you take, we got to add them together, we need to write formula equal A1 plus A2 plus A3. For the function, you are writing function called sum. There you have to give first cell and the last cell. So sum A1 colon last cell is A3 according to this question. When subtract, multiply, division, divide, you have formulas A1 minus A2, multiply A equal. You have to put equal mark all the time. A1 into A2. You have a star there, right? Divide A1 slash A2, but you don't have any function in your syllabus, right? So don't worry about the functions for these subtract, multiplication, and divisions. Then you have average. To find the average, you need to add them together, A1 plus A2 plus A3. You have to put bracket and divide by 3. You have a function called average. Don't put AVG. I have seen some students are used to take AVG function, but it is not available in your syllabus. And in your Excel even, you don't have that. Earlier, our old version, function average. Then to get the maximum and minimum, you don't have formula, but you have a function called max and give the cell range A1 to A3, min A1 to A3. Then for the count even, if I write here, you can't see, no, it's count. Count, you don't have a function. I will write, sorry, you don't have a formula. I will write function here, equal, count, and give the cell range. Right? So these are the things you have to memorize. Memorize. You can take it from the YouTube and hold. I'm not going to give you time. time එකක් දෙන්න මම බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ නැහැ. අපි මේ වැඩ ටික ඉක්මනට කරගෙන යන්න. You can, if you want, you can watch it again through the YouTube, right? Now other thing is මෙන්න මෙතන ගොඩක් ළමයි වරද්දනවා. අපිට cell range, when you are giving cell range, හිතන්නකෝ මට තියෙනවා sum එක හොයන්න මේ වගේ. මේ 10 20 30 මේ ටිකේයි මෙතන තියෙනවා 50 60 100 කියලා. මේ දෙකේම හොයන්න ඕන, but you don't have anything here. එතන මොන හරි වෙන අකුරු ටිකක් හරි මොනවද තියෙනවද? So what you have to do is equal sum, මේක දෙනවා A1 A3, you can put a comma. මේ range එක වෙනම දෙනවා C1 C3. ඔයගොල්ලෝ උත්තර වරද්දනවා ගොඩක් ළම. So you can give two ranges. මට ඕන වෙනවා මේ range එකයි only මෙන්න මේ වාට්ටයි විතරයි. එහෙනම් කොහොමද? A1 range එකයි comma C1 only. එක cell එකක් ගන්න එහෙම දෙන්න. මට ඕන වෙනවා මේ 10 මේකයි විතරක් වань. එහෙනම් අපිට දෙන්න පුළුවන් A equal sum not only for the sum. Average, max, mean, anything you can use this function. Doesn't matter, right? तर මම දෙනවා A1, A3, C3. කොහොමත් අපිට දෙන්න පුළුවන්. That is also possible. That is also possible. Sir, if we use AVG as average, won't be we getting marks? No marks, right? The marks some bit now because I am also going for the paper marking. And so you don't get any marks. And if you don't have this equal mark keyword, again you don't get marks, right? So they are strictly checking. So don't miss them. You are miss කරන්න එපා. හරියටම ලියන්න, right? ඒ විදි දාන්නම බෑ, right? ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඉගෙනගෙන තියෙනවා නම් කොහෙන් හරි ඒක වැරදි, right? ඒක වැරදි. මම I am emphasizing that it's wrong. So use average function, average word, right? Then again, then when you take count, okay, I will tell that also. When you take count, it will be counting only numbers. Count only numbers. So if you have letters, text and all that, it won't count. එකක් ඉන්නේ යා count කරන්නේ නැහැ. So there's a function called count. ඒතකොට ඒවා මේක නැහැ. You don't have in your syllabus. ඒක නේ හිතන්නවත් එපා. Right? You have a function called count. It will be counting only numbers. දැන් අපි මෙතන example එකක් විදිහට මෙහෙම දාලා මම ABC ඔහොම දැම්මොත් එහෙම මේ ටික count කරොත් එහෙම යා එන්නේ 6 කියලා output එක. Because you have only 6 numbers, but you have other letters also, but it is not count. Remember that. ඒකත් මතක තියාගන්න. Then another thing is, දැන් ඒ අර මම කියපු ranges ටික දැන් ඔයගොල්ලෝ චුට්ටක් මේක you go through this book චුට්ටක් බලන්න. දැන් ඔයගොල්ලන් දැන් idea එකත් එක්ක බලන්න. එතකොට මේක හරි ලේසියෙන් තේරුම් ගන්න පුළුවන්. මේක ගොඩාක් වෙලා අරගෙන like feeding like from the spoon වගේ එහෙම you don't want to do like that, right? එහෙම කරන්න අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. එහෙම කරන්න time එකකුත් නැහැ ඔයගොල්ලන්, right? Then other thing is absolute, I think it is there. Absolute part. Okay, I will tell that one also. Absolute cell reference. Again, you are making mistake in that part. Most of the questions are based on absolute cell address. Absolute එක තමයි හැම වෙලේම questions එකක් ගොඩක් කරලා form වෙන්නේ. ඒ නිසා ඒක පොඩ්ඩක් මතක තියාගන්න how it is working. හරිද? මම දාගන්න ABC කියලා මෙහෙම ABCD 1 2 3. I have 10 here. and 10 කියන එක දාලා තියෙනවා. මට මේකේ 10 වල multiplication table එක ඔය විදිහට ගන්න ඕනේ පල්ලෙහාට. So what is the function what is the formula you have to use here? and දානවා equal A1 multiplied by B1. But if you take the cursor here, that is called fill handle tool. So plus ලකුණකට මාරු වෙනවා. That is called fill handle tool. When you drag this down, your cell addresses are changed. So A1 become මෙතන දැන් මොකද වෙන්නේ? equal A2 වෙනවා into B2. හැබැයි B2 එක හරිනේ. හැබැයි A2, do you have any value here? Do you have any value? No, you don't have any value here. So what you have to do is you have to make it absolute. Make a change when that A1 වල තියෙන value එක A1 කියන cell එක value එක නෙවෙයි A1 කියන cell එක you have to make it absolute not change. එහෙනම් අපි කරන්නේ මෙන්න මෙහෙම දාන්න. $A $1 කියලා දාන්න. When you put the dollar mark before the column letter, it will absolute the letter A. A එක change වෙන්නේ. Before the row number, it means absoluting row number. එක කියන එක change වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒකට මේක දුවොත් මේක හරි. හැබැයි ඔයගලන්ට පේනවා when you going downwards A කියන එක කොහේවත් මේ change වෙනවද? නැහැ. කොච්චර පල්ලෙහාට ගියොත් your A, the letter A is same. එහෙනම් no need to put dollar mark here. අපිට පුළුවන් එතන dollar mark එක අයින් කරලා because you are dragging down. මෙහෙම ලියුවොත් ඒත් හරි. But ඒත් හරි. එතකොට සමහර වෙලාවට some schools they are removing marks because you are using unwanted dollar mark. මේ dollar mark එක අවශ්‍යද? When you are dragging it down, no. Only this dollar mark is enough. එතකොට එහෙම වෙනවා. But for the O level it didn't happen, but I can't tell this time what will happen. So if you don't want dollar mark, no need to put there. ඒක අවශ්‍ය නැත්නම් දාන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. මේක ලිව්වා නම් you will be getting marks. Don't worry. But this is also correct, right? Make correct. එතකොට මම යනවා මේ පැත්ත. හිතන්නකෝ මෙහෙම. You have 10. මෙතන 1 2 3. මෙතන ඕනි මට 10 into 1. Here 10 into 2. Here 10 into 3. So you are dragging this side. මේ පැත්තට අපි කියනවා horizontally you are going to drag. එහෙනම් මම ලියනවා equal A1 into මෙතන තියෙන්නේ A2. හැබැයි when you are dragging this side, your row number will be same. මේ 2 කියන row number එක same. මේ පැත්තට යද්දි කොච්චර ගියත් 2 කියන row number. But column letter මේ A මෙතනදී වැඩි වෙද්දි B වෙලා මෙතනදී C වෙලා. එහෙනම් මේකේ absolute ගන්න ඕනේ මොකද්ද? column letter එක absolute කරා නම් that is enough, right? එහෙනම් මෙයා drag කරන්නේ මේ පැත්ත. එතකොට you will be getting question. Not only dragging downwards, you can drag horizontally and vertically both sides. You will be able to identify them and put the correct dollar mark. හරියට dollar mark දාන්න පුරුදු වෙන්න ඕනේ. ඒකට ඔයගොල්ලෝ try කරන්න questions we are going to discuss some questions also from past paper. Other than that, if you have some more questions, you try them out, right? ඒකට එහෙම අනිවාර්යෙන් try කරලා බලන්න. I think you can understand this how to use dollar mark, right? Then other than that, අපිට තියෙනවා මෙතන බලන්න මේ relatively self reference. Relative self reference means you don't have any dollar mark. Row absolute, column absolute, row and column absolute. So the dollar mark, if you have dollar mark for both column and letter, that's called row and column absolute self reference. එහෙම ඒවා තියෙනවා relative එක කියන්නේ you are not going to put any dollar mark. That is also possible. එතකොට ඒ ටික අපි හරි I think last time you got question from the formatting toolbars and all that. So ඒවා චුට්ටක් බලන්න ඕනේ. Other than that, you have something called charts. So column charts, you have bar chart, you have line chart, pie chart. Actually, pie chart is used for comparison purposes with the percentage. So percentage wal ekka comparison karනවා නම් better to use pie chart rather than column chart or bar chart. But if you are doing only the comparison without percentage, you can go for the column and bar chart and line chart even, right? If you are comparing pairs, ඒ කියන්නේ දෙකක් අරගෙන compare කරන්න වගේ වෙනවා අපි XY chart එක use කරනවා, right? So those are things that you have, that is the theory that we have to discuss. So අපි බලමු some questions. Okay, I will give you some time. This is from 2019 question paper. There are some operating system question and Excel question. There you can see 4 questions. Try to find the answers for them. If you want, you can send your answers through the chat. I'll give only few minutes. Then I will start discussing them. Okay, when you take operating system ones, first one, which of the following is contain only the tasks of an operating system? Payroll management, process management, file management, but do you have payroll management? It's something else, right? Information system, related information system. Then process management, database management. Do you have database management there? No. Then process management, memory management, database, no. Process management, memory and file, that is correct. This is the correct answer for. Okay, next question. Which of the following techniques can be used to increase the free space of a hard disk without deleting any existing file? Compression of existing file on the hard disk is there. Copying some files in the hard disk to a flash drive. Formatting of the hard disk. Partitioning of the hard disk. Which of the following technique can be used to increase the free space of a hard disk? You need to increase the free space. Now formatting, it will be deleted everything. Partition, nothing will happen. It will be only partitioning, separating, but not increasing the free space. Copying some file in the hard disk to a flash drive, that is okay, but you are copying means you have the files there. If you cut them and put it to the flash drive, then definitely you will increase in the free space. So compressing means, now if you have compression technique, it will be coming to other grade 11 unit, but I will tell you, when you are compressing means you are making it small. As example, I will take one example, but I will, because of here, this problem, I will tell that compressing. There are different techniques of compressing, right? So you have heard about them, lossy compression and lossless compression. As example, suppose you have file like 3A's, 3B's, right? So if you take 1 MB as this size, your file size is 6 MB. So you have compression technique. One is lossy compression. Actually, this is coming for the image compression and all that. So you can lossy compression, you can remove some data and you can make it small. So you have 2B's and 2A's, 4 MB. So it has compressed. That means reduce the size. There's another technique, lossless compression. You have some techniques like 3A's. So 3A, how many A's are there? 3B's, how many B's are there? Again 4 MB. So this is lossless. That means you can go back to the original one. Here you cannot go back to the original one. This is called lossless. So this is called compression. When you compress, what will happen? You can increase your size because it has compressed. So I think it is first answer. Okay, right? Then consider the range of the cell given. That 15th question, that is from the Excel. Consider range of cell given A3 to C4. So A3 is this one. C4 is this one. Right? A3 to C4, that all 6 cells are taken, right? Which of the following cells are included in this range? A3 is there. C4 also there. But you have B3 also there. C3 also there. So it is not the correct answer. A3, B3, C3. What about A4, B4 and Z4? It is not there. So all these 6 cells are coming. So your answer will be 4. Then next question. What would be the display in cell C3 when the formula in cell C2 was copied to cell C3. Cell C2, you have a formula. Actually, it is coming from, you are multiplying this one by this one. That's how we are getting. When you're copying, you are dragging this down. Right? So here you have 6,000. Sorry, 60,000. Then here the formula is given, right? B2 multiplied by B $5. It is not changing. This is not changing. When you're dragging down, this become B3. Make a change, you know, have a B5. Make a change, you know, the point one. Then your answer will be 6,000. I think Nipuni has sent me the answer. Good, right? So you can understand how this dollar mark is working. Okay, try to do this one. This is a second part question from the Excel 2019 question. Okay, if you have the paper with you, you can take it and try it out. This is a screenshot. Okay, we'll go to our first question. Here asking, write down the formula that should be entered in cell C43. C43 means this one. To calculate the average marks for subject 1 in the form function equal function cell 1. So what you have to do, it is very simple one. Very simple one. You have to get the average, equal average. Within bracket, you can put C3 colon C40, 42, C42. Very easily you can write. Equal mark, you have to put the equal. Average, AVERAGE. Don't make any spelling mistake, then you don't get marks because you are English medium student. And single medium is also same. Because if you make any mistake, means your function is not good. So write the correct spelling. C3 colon C42. So if the formula copy to D43 and E43, write down the formula that will be appear in cell D43. So you are copying. So it goes to the next one, equal average D3 colon D42. D3 colon D42. Then next one, the Z score for a subject of a student can be calculated by using the following formula. So a formula is given. Student marks for the subject minus average marks for the subject divided by SD value of the subject. The SD value is the required for each subjects are given as C44, D44 and E44 respectively. Write down the formula that should be entered to F3. F3 is here. Command, right? F3 to calculate Kamal's Z score now. Subject 1. It's not is given, not that this formula is to be copied to calculate Z score for subject 1 of all other students. So how to write this? So formula is given. So how you have to use that is given. So first is you have to here according to student marks for the subject. So that is actually equal C3 subject. So you need to then minus. Formula is given. So you can use the same thing. Then what? Then student marks for the subject minus average marks for the subject. Now this you have to bracket. Huh? If you don't have bracket, that is also wrong. Minus again average marks for the subject. So average marks is given for the subject 1. It is there in the cell C43. Cell C40. Now I didn't put any dollar mark. I am just writing it. You can understand it easily. So C3 minus C43. Again, you have to divide by what? Divide by SD value for the subject. So SD value is again given. Subject 1 is given C44. This is the thing you have to write. But they are telling it is you have to take it to the other cells also. You have to make it absolute. What you have to absolute? Now Kamal's mark, Raju, do you need to absolute that part? No. But average will be the same. Average will be the same. So first thing you have to absolute is average. So you can make it $C $43 or without proceeding one, C $43 even. Okay. That is also possible. So I'll put C $43. Right? Because when you are going downwards, you need to absolute only row number. Then again, when you are dividing by SD value, again what you had? You have to make C44 also absolute. You can either put dollar mark C $44. That is also possible. Or otherwise, you can put C $44. That is also possible. Both you got marks, right? In 2019, didn't deduct any marks. You can have either $2 marks or $1 mark, or even it is okay. I think you can understand that. Then we'll go to the next part. Part B. If this formula is copied to cell range F4 to F42, write down the formula that will be appear in cell F42, which shows cast if a discover subject. So what you have to change, do your average is changing? No, it's not changing. So what you have to do, you can put equal C42. Instead of C3, you have to put C42 minus C$43. That is not changing. Again, divide C$44. It is not changing. Only changing thing is C42 only. Very easy. It is like, it seems like it is a bit confusing one, complex one, but it is easy because they have given the formula. You have to assign them all. Then next one. The final Z score of the student is the average of the three subjects. Z scores for the subject. Write down the formula to calculate the final Z score value of Kamal in cell I3 using only the function count and sum. So here you what you are going to write. But you have to you can't you can use only sum and count only. So how you are going to do that? You have to take the sum of F3 to F3 to H3. You are taking the total, that is equal sum within bracket F3 colon H3. Then you have to divide by 3. No, again what you have to do? Division you have to put like this. Then equal count F3 colon H3. That will be dividing by 3. But you can't put 3. According to the question, it is given. You have to take the sum and count functions only. So you have to take the total by using the sum function equal sum F3 colon F3 divided count F3 colon H3. That's enough. No need to put two equal marks. Two equal marks දාන්න අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. එක equal mark එකක් දැම්ම නම් ඇති. Right? If I write it here, එක පොඩ්ඩක් අමාරු නිසා මම ලියන්න. Equal sum ගන්නවා F3 වල ඉඳන් H3 වල වෙනකන්. This is the total you are getting. Right? Again, you are dividing it. Count again, count වෙන numbers 3යි කියලා count වෙලා එන්නේ. F3 to H3 on. This is how you have to write the function. Then fifth one. Assume the student Z score values for the three subjects and the final Z score for all have been calculated. Write down the formula that should be entered in cell I44 to find out the highest final score. So it is easy. By the function max. So equal max I3 to I42. I3 to I42. That's all. Right? So you can score 10 marks here because you will be getting question. අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම Excel question එකක් එනවම තමයි. ඒකට ඒක try ගන්න දැම්ම practice කරමු. Okay, 2020 අපි ඉක්මනට කරගෙන යමු. Try to finish MCQs quickly. 2020 operating system and Excel both are there. Okay, first one very easy. Which of the following contain only example of operating system? Android is operating system. Ubuntu, Windows 10, Windows Explorer කියලා එකක් තියෙනවා හැම එකේම. It's not operating system. First answer. Next one. Which of the following statement are correct? Graphical user interface. Facilitate to use a mouse to execute the command. That's correct. WIMP stand for Windows Access Menu and Pointer. That is also correct. I told you to highlight that. එකම highlight කරගන්නත් කිව්වා. නම් මේ දෙකම හරි පේනවනේ ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා. A command line interface is more user friendly than you have to memorize all the commands. So that's wrong. එහෙනම් A and B only. Okay, go through the other ones. You can send the answers. There are 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5. Okay. MCQs, you try to put the answers. Okay, here $A$1 plus B$1 to the cell C1, you get 90. If the formula in cell C1, copy it to the cell C2. මෙන්න මෙතනට copy කරනවා කියන්නේ. C2. And D1 මෙතනටත් copy කරනවා. මොනවද එන values කියලා අනුව respective. මෙතනට copy කරාම මොකද වෙන්නේ? Are they changing? It is going downwards. ඒක dollar mark දාලා තියෙන්නේ in front of the row numbers. So it is not changing. So you will be getting 90. මෙතනටත් එන්නේ 90ම තමයි. Because $A$1 එක change වෙන්නේ නැහැ. මේ පැත්තට යද්දි මොකද වෙන්නේ? $A$1 become B$1. B$1 become C$1. එහෙනම් මේ දෙක එකතු වෙන්නේ 50 plus 90 140. So 90 and 140 should be the answer. Second answer. Okay, next one. So ABC, PQRS. P is for active cell. Q is row headings. R is column heading. Insert function next one. So second answer. Which of the following statement is correct for the cell range given C2 to E5? C2 to E5. මෙතනම අපිට ගන්න පුළුවන් මෙන්න C2 මෙන්න E5. මේ සෙට් එක තමයි ඔය කියන්නේ. Total number of rows in this range is 3. Hurry. C, D, C, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other total number of rows 3 there. That is wrong. Geometrical shapes of the cell range is rectangle. That is correct. Rectangle. Total number of cells 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. Alang එක හරි. B and C. Very lazy. Only thing you have to understand it. Okay, from the operating system. Following two diagrams illustrate two types. First one is what? Sequential access. Next one is random access. The operating system identifies the file type using the file extension. What is the file extension of PowerPoint file? .pptx. .pptx. Okay, we'll go to the big question from the Excel. Okay, try it out. Okay, because of the time is running, so we'll go through that. The column edge is used to show the batting average of each player. The average of player is calculated by using the formula runs divided by innings minus not outs. Write down the formula that should be entered in cell H3 to obtain Tendulkar's average. So very easily you can find out here. You are going to take the runs, that is F3 divided within bracket equal, you have to put equal mark, equal F3 divided slash D3 minus E3. D3 minus E3. Right. Next one, second one. Assume that the formula entered to H3 is copied to the cell range H4 to H22. Write down the formula displayed in H22. What the formula? අපිට යනවා පළවෙනි දෙවෙනි formula එක එනම් equal F22 slash, that is divided within bracket නැත්තම් වැරදි, D22 minus E22. D22 minus E22. Next one. Write down the steps to display this average in column H with 2 decimal places. So 2 decimal places average එකක් පෙන්නන්න ඕන නම් you have a small icon. So icon එක මෙන්න මේ වගේ එකක් මම ලිව්වොත් එහෙම මේකේ මෙහෙම පොඩි දශම දෙකක් එක්ක බිඳුවයි එක්ක ඇවිල්ලා ආයි පොඩි arrow එකක් එක්ක ඇවිල්ලා මෙන්න මේ වගේ icon එකක්. So this is the easiest way. මෙන්න මේ icon එක click කරා කියලා ලිව්වනම් හරි. This is the only one place that I have seen. For the O-level paper, you got something like taking the formatting toolbars and asking, right? So you can tell it that is called decreasing decimal. So you can tell by using decrease decimal icon. Emily, what it alakuna dun by using decrease decimal icon by clicking. That's enough. There are so many methods. Right click kalla properties වලට ගිහිල්ලා, that is also possible. Then next one. Write down the formula in the form of function that should be entered cell H24 to find the hardest. හරි ලේසි. highest sum අපි යන්නේ max එන equal max within bracket h3 colon h22 equal max h3 colon h22. Then next one, to show the number of centuries, 50s and ducks obtained by S.R. Tendulkar. So that you have to show them as a percentage, so it's better to use pie chart. So A you can take as pie chart. B, you are going to show the comparison. They are given comparison. You can go for bar chart. Go for bar chart. Okay, next one. Yeah, that's all. Okay, 2021. Last year question paper. We'll try them quickly. Try to find out the MCQs and send me the answers if you can. Some of you have sent. Okay, MCQs 9. Which of the following is the first software that must be installed on a computer after formatting its hard disk? What you need to first software, operating system. Without operating system, you cannot have other software. So you have to have operating system. 10. Which of the following groups consist only language translation? So we discuss assembler, compiler, and interpreter. Other language translation. So that is theory. Make a තේරුම් ගන්න දෙයක් නැහැ. You have to memorize. That's all. Theory. 12. Consider the following expressive segment. Which of the following segments? Yes, good. Send me the answers, okay? So consider the following expressive segment. Which four components labeled as PQRS? So P is what? That is called name box. This is the name box. Cell එක තියෙන්නේ කොතනද කියන එකයි එයා කියන්නේ. ඒකට අපි කියන්නේ name box මතක තියාගන්න name box. Q and a formula bar. R column headings. S තමයි sheet tab. Sheet tabs is there on bottom of your Excel workbook on the sheets ticket. Same kind of things are there. You can add or remove sheets. And then third answer, it should be the third answer. Okay. Then 13 and 14. Okay, what is the answer for 13? What is the correct formula to be entered in cell E to calculate the total marks obtained by Sahan? Total marks obtained by Sahan. So how to calculate that? So Sahan is here. So these things, if you add them, okay, equal B2 plus C2 plus T2. You have a formula. Put it in. First answer. 14. What will be the value displayed in A7? The formula count එක දෙන ඔන්න බලන්න count එක අර මං කියපු එක count එකේ count වෙන්නේ only numbers. How many numbers are there? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. 10 numbers only. Total හැදෙන්නවත් මොකුත් නැහැ. අර අකුරු count වෙන්නෙත් නැහැ. Only numbers will be counting there. Okay, we'll go to the last question. That is a big question. Okay, try it out. Okay, we'll go through quickly because it's almost 10:30. Write down the correct formula in the form of function. You got to give the function. That should be entered in cell B13 to find out total number of vehicles involved in fatal accident. So fatal accident is here. Your total is here. So how to get the total? Equal sum. I type that. Within bracket, we are going to put B4. You are starting with B4 colon B11. It's a capital simple measurement. Sorry, B11. So this is the first one answer. Assume that the formula entered to B13 is copied to the cell C13 to E13. Write down the formula. That is for the actually for the minor accident. So your total will be coming from sum. So only the cell ranges are changing. D13, so that is D4 colon D11 now. They are asking in D13. Critical. And see, write down the formula in the form of function. 13 D14 to get the lowest value. Lowest value, you know, function is mean. Now, D4 colon D11. Then D. Write down the appropriate cell range in form of cell 5 to cell 6. Again, cell range only, yeah. For the formula written in cell B15 to identify the highest. Highest ගන්න නම් අපිට මොකක්ද එන්න ඕනේ? Cell range එක විතරයි යන්නේ. එහෙනම් අපි යන්නේ B4 colon almost cell 5 to cell 6 for the formula written in cell B15 to identify the highest number of any accident. Any accident. එහෙනම් B4 වල ඉඳන් අපි යන්න ඕනේ ඔක්කොම මේ damages, critical, minor, fatal ඔක්කොම එහෙනම් E7 B4 colon 11. ඒකට අපි ඕනනම් max කියලා දැම්මොත් ඒකට ලකුණු දුන්නා. That time equal max within bracket B14 to E11 11 දෙන්නත් හරි. මෙහෙම දුන්නත් ඒත් you get marks. Part E, write down the most suitable chart type available in spreadsheet software from the given list of chart to show comparison of type of accident involve each vehicle type in the same graph. same graph එකේ කොච්චරද කියලා අපි දෙන්න ඕනේ. So you have to take bar chart. එකම bar එකේ you can have several colors. රෙතන් දෙන්නේ bar. Second one, to show number of fatal accidents for each vehicle type. There you can take pie chart as a percentage. එක vehicle එකේ fail. So out of number of accident වලින් you are taking as a comparison. Okay, so that's all for the paper. So I think now you can understand how important is this, right? Now, when you take operating system, then Excel, you saw that we have more than 15 marks from these 2 lessons, right? So try to go through it again, right? And brush up your knowledge. I think this has given you a small, at least a small help to uplift your knowledge or brush up your knowledge, right? So on next day, most probably on Friday or Saturday, most probably Saturday, we are going to discuss another lesson. Like we'll take a database. There's another very important lesson, and we'll discuss the theory and this way questions from the past papers, right? So then after that, we are going to move to the grade 11 sessions, right? Okay, so we'll finish for the day almost 10:30. I also have to go to school tomorrow. You have some seminars and all that. So all the best and have a nice day. Thank you.